Well, before we begin this morning, I just want to say welcome to all of you who are joining from home. I really appreciate you guys for not only joining me and making this community still come together, but for everyone else. When you show up, even though we're not necessarily seeing each other, we can feel that we're part of something a little bit bigger here. So we are going to begin today by just taking a nice, comfortable seat. And why are we here? Why are we taking this seat? Well, this class is sponsored by the Western National Parks Association, and typically we offer this class out at the historic missions. But with the weather today, we decided to move the class indoors. But we still wanted to bring a practice to all of you guys, and we're really appreciative of their support during this time when I know all of you need this practice more than ever. So I invite you to find a comfortable seat from wherever you are and just get ready to flow and let go. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just begin to tune in without changing anything. Just observe your breath. Perhaps as you watch this breath, you'll begin to notice it naturally begins to deepen and expand. Continuing to let your natural breath flow. I want you to shift your awareness now down into the ground beneath you. Feel yourself really firmly rooted and grounded into your seat. Perhaps thinking of why you're taking this seat this morning, your intention for showing up here. And then as you stay firmly rooted into your sit bones, I want you to take an inhale and begin to really lift, like you're growing all the way up into the crown of your head. So the two ends of our energetic spectrum here, our root chakra, where we feel firm and we feel grounded. And all the way up to the crown chakra, which is our 1,000-petaled lotus, reaching up into the spaciousness above. Continue to breathe in and out here. And I want you to take your right hand, lift it up. If you need to open your eyes, you can look at me. We're going to bring in the middle 3 fingers, making a little hang ten. For those of you joining me for my retreat, you may have already done this meditation this morning, but we're going to take alternate nostril breath. So from here, you're going to take your thumb and plug over the right side of your nose, and then take a deep breath in through the left. Pausing up at the top, just switch, plugging up your left nostril and opening up your right, taking an exhale here. You'll continue with an inhale breath through the right nose, pausing at the top and shifting out through the left. Perhaps if you've opened your eyes, go ahead and close them again and continue this pattern of breath in through one nostril, pausing at the top and switching to exhale through the opposite nostril. Letting your breath stay in that natural rhythm, not forcing it to be longer or deeper than it already is. Just allow yourself to get kind of lost in the rhythm of this breath. Watching the rise of that inhale, recognizing the pause, and then the fall of the exhale through the opposite side of the nose. As you take a few more rounds of this alternate nostril breathing, I'd like to share with you a quote from a book that I've been reading again lately called When Things Fall Apart by Pema Chodron. And it says, it's a transformational experience to simply pause instead of immediately filling up the space. By waiting, we begin to connect with fundamental restlessness as well as fundamental spaciousness. Continuing a few more rounds of that alternate nostril breath. Here we're working with that duality of our nature, our fundamental restlessness. That's part of all of us. We might be a little more in that state lately. But at the same time, on the other side of that duality, we also have this fundamental spaciousness, the ability to release our grasp. And so this breath is helping to balance that active and passive nature, creating a nice calm center. Taking one last round of that breath on your own. And when you finish your exhale, just allow your right hand to relax down onto the leg. And taking a moment here, bring the palms together at your heart center and tune in to how you're feeling here. Physically, emotionally, mentally. And make the commitment to use this practice to explore both sides of that nature, of your duality, that fundamental restlessness when it arises, as well as your ability to find space, using this breath as an anchor. Once you've come to your own seat and why you're here today, let's gather with this virtual community, and we're going to take the universal hum of Om. Whether you feel like using your own physical voice here, or perhaps just letting it vibrate from within. We'll take a cleansing breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale here and Om on the exhale. Two more just like that. Go ahead and take an inhale. With your exhale, release your hands, open up your eyes. Welcome, welcome. Bring your feet onto the floor in front of you. You're just going to allow your knees to windshield wipe from side to side, just like the waves of an ocean. Hi, Stella. Allowing yourself just to find a little flow. Today, we're going to try not to get really stagnant in our practice. Hi, Grayson. But instead, be super fluid. Once you've taken a few more rounds of that windshield wiper knees, go ahead and bring yourself back upright into a seat. But what I want you to do this time is to cross your legs in the opposite direction. So that place that feels a little funky, right? For many of us, we're in that space in our lives, right? We're kind of sitting in that uncomfortable position. And when we arrive in this uncomfortable space, it can feel really natural for us to want to grip and to grab and to find something to make us feel stable. So today, instead of trying so hard, we're going to try easy. We're going to see what happens when we just accept where we are and find that fundamental spaciousness that exists. So starting here in this uncomfortable seat, let's take an inhale and reach your fingertips high up towards the sky. And as you exhale, just lower them back down. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Take another inhale to reach the arms high. This time as you exhale, bring the right hand down to the side and take a big side body stretch. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Wake up the left fingertips, and as you inhale, find that length. Exhale, bend a little deeper into the right side body. On your next inhale, stretch up tall through the sky. Raise the fingers all the way to the other side. Left hand lands, right arm reaches up and over. Soften the shoulders down away from your ears. Wake up the right fingers and reach them long. Tightening into that left side just a bit to open a little more into the right rib cage. On your next inhale, let's reach all 10 fingers to the sky. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands all the way down and then bring them out in front of you. You're just going to walk them a little bit away from your body here. Press them into the mat and roll your shoulders back. Bring the left hand to the center. You're going to inhale up and open through the right arm. And as you exhale, you're going to thread the needle here. Just a little gentle thread, reaching the right fingertips over. And then we're going to inhale, open up again, opening that right arm. And as you exhale, thread the needle under. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, right arm reaches under. One more time. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, reach it under and just leave it there for a moment. Maybe you lean a little more weight into the right arm. Maybe you walk the left arm forward on the mat. Just take a couple breaths into the back of the body, feeling the shoulder blades separate away from the spine. And then walking that left hand in, if you brought it forward, inhale, stretch the right arm out. And as you exhale, bring the right palm in front of you, right to the center. Replace your left hand. Inhale, we're going to take it to the other side. Opening that left arm. As you exhale, thread it under. As you inhale, reach it up and open. And as you exhale, thread it under. Inhaling it up and open. Exhale, take it under. Our last one. Inhale, reach it up, take it open. As you exhale, thread your needle here. Walking the left fingertips over, maybe leaning a little deeper into the left shoulder. Right fingertips may walk forward. Try to keep both of your sit bones planted into the earth. One more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, begin to come back upright, walking yourself all the way in. And then bring the hands back behind you, the feet back to the mat once again. And you're just going to find the little waves, knees from side to side. Letting yourself rock from hip to hip. Giving yourself a little massage in those areas. We can be nice and tense. And then go ahead and pause with the knees up to the sky. Press into the palms and take altar pose. Lifting your hips and heart to the sky. You can keep your chin tucked or let the head fall back. Try to roll the shoulders away from your ears and let your neck have some breathing room. Take another inhale. As you take your exhale, lower your hips down onto the mat. And we'll just make our way across, over onto the hands and knees. Finding your way into a tabletop. So we're going to take tabletop here a little awkwardly. I want you to bring your big toes together so that you're kind of like in a child's pose. The knees are a little wider. And you're gonna inhale, drop the belly, gaze up, just like your cow pose here. And as you exhale, you're gonna round back and press the hips towards the heels. Maybe bow the forehead all the way to the earth. So you're gonna inhale, scoop up to the back like a little cat pose. As you exhale, drop the belly, gaze up, lifting through the heart. This time as you exhale, just sit the hips back towards the heart, bow the forehead to the mat. As you inhale, scoop from the back of the heart, round yourself up into tabletop pose. As you exhale, let the belly button drop, lift up through the gaze. As you exhale, extend the hips back to heels, forehead to the mat. One more time like that. Inhale, you're rounding through the back of the heart, bringing the shoulders to stack over the wrists. Drop the belly down, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, take the hips to sink back towards the heels. Walk your hands towards your knees. Bring your knees parallel to one another. And on your next inhale, we're going to sweep all the way up, arms to the sky. And as you exhale, bring them down into cactus arms. Keep pressing your hips forward. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, press your hips forward, cactus arms. Inhale up. Last time, exhale, cactus arms. Inhale up. On your exhale, I want you to bring your hands onto your thighs, tuck your toes under, and sit your hips back down onto your heels. This pose is called fire toes pose, and there's a lot of that element of fire that arises here. When I think of fire, I think of, those emotions that are very hot, right? I want us to find the opposite of that. So can we feed the cool side, right? Can we feed that spaciousness by not reacting to what we're experiencing? It can be there, but we don't have to be. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, release it completely. Then begin to shift forward, hands onto the mat, uncurl your toes and tap out your toes. Maybe you kind of wiggle them out. And we're just going to, from here, find our way into our first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes and lift your hips up towards the sky. Once you've found downward dog, keep that fluidness going by walking out your knees, bending in one knee, pressing the opposite heel towards the mat. And just letting yourself pause in any place that feels good. Staying a couple of moments to take a couple of breaths into anything that's tight or tender. And then pause and allow both heels to sink towards the mat. Take an inhale breath. Come up to the tippy toes and look towards your hands. Just a slow little tiptoe walk. Knees are bent all the way to the hands. You're going to plant the feet right behind your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, finding that flat spine. Exhale, melt down into ragdoll. Ragdoll. So this pose is a great place to really explore how we exist in this dual reality of being firm like the earth but fluid like water. So I want you to feel your feet firm. Spread your toes, maybe shift front to back, side to side, and really get firmly rooted. Intentional with why you're here on your mat. If we're not here, then we're nowhere, right? And then feel the strength drawing from the feet, from the roots, all the way up the legs. Even if the knees are bent, your legs are supporting you here. Take an inhale and begin to find space in the chest and belly by lifting away. And now we're going to find that fluid energy as you exhale, just like a waterfall. Allow the upper body to dangle down. Shake out your head. Yes, I'm here. Make a big yes. No, there's not anywhere else that I would rather be this morning. You can leave your fingertips on the earth, or you can reach across and grab onto opposite elbows.
If you're grabbing onto the elbows, just use your hands to draw your spine a little bit longer towards the earth. Once again, you can shake your head yes here, and if you're grasping the elbows, try to see if you can bring your ears in between your biceps. And then roll the shoulders away from your earring holders, keeping them plugged up the back so your neck can breathe here. And then taking one last breath in through your nose. As you exhale, if you have the bind, release the fingertips. Finding that firm root of the legs, begin to slowly unravel, unwind yourself until you're standing on your own 2 feet. We arrive here in Tadasana. So Tadasana, grounded through both firm feet. Maybe they walk a little closer. Hands are open, heart is open. Let's take an inhale. Reach all 10 fingers up towards the sky. With an exhale, palms come through the heart, soften your knees and forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. With your exhale, plant your palms and step your feet to the back of the mat. Find your high plank pose. And this can be done with the knees down. Just pause and check in. Right, we have to check in and we have to watch. We watch where we are. And we're constantly fluctuating. Are we feeding that restless energy? Or can we stoke that soothing space? Take one more breath here, and as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. And then I want you to take your fingertips wide. So you're going to take them off to either side of your mat, elbows up towards the sky. We're going to take what I call a swimming cobra. So what better way to think of water energy than to swim, right? So we're going to inhale. You're going to press into your fingertips, lift your chest like cobra, roll the shoulders and elbows back, zip the belly in, and exhale, just slowly like a wave lower down. So you're inhaling, you're peeling up from the heart all the way up. See how high you can go, and then exhale, like you're lengthening your spine as you lower all the way back down. One more time. Inhale, lifting yourself up. This time you're going to pause at the top. As you exhale, drop your right shoulder down. Begin to drop and look up over the left shoulder. Inhale, rolling that right shoulder back to come to center, and exhale to the opposite side. Left shoulder in, gaze comes over the right. On your inhale, come back up into center, lift it up high, and with your exhale, like you're lengthening your vertebrae, slowly come all the way down to the mat. Bring the hands back firmly rooted next to your rib cage, tuck your toes. On an inhale, you're going to come up maybe through tabletop or back into that firm high plank. And then make your way into your downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Open mouth, let it out. Now I want you to do that again, but let your whole body sigh. So inhale, full body sigh. Let it go. Look forward, feet come all the way to the top of the mat, meet your hands. On the inhale, finding flat back, heart nice and long. Exhale, bow, melt, release. Inhale, firm through the feet, reach the fingertips high, upward salute. Exhale, go right into that swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, step both feet back, finding that high plank once again. Take an extra breath here so we can find space. Inhale it in. Exhale it down. Inhale, traditional cobra. Lift up through the chest. See where you're clenching. Can you pull those shoulders back? Exhale, release. Downward facing dog will meet. Tuck the toes. Lift your hips up and back. This time, begin to root into the left heel. Extend your right leg up. Bend your right knee and open up your hip. So I want you to begin to move your hip around in really big circles. So imagine you're kind of like the 10 man here, and you're trying to see like where you need some WD-40. And once you've gone a few times in one way, go a few times in the other direction. And then find that big open expansive hip on the inhale. And then on your exhale, you're gonna step your right foot all the way forward to meet your hands. Spinning your left hip heel down for warrior two, we're gonna rise. So for warrior two, those right toes straight forward, back foot's parallel to the back of your mat. You're bending your right knee over the ankle. We're gonna bring the arms out side to side. Taking a moment to get firmly rooted through the feet. Again, like you're growing like that lotus through the crown of your head. Just in that duality, right? We're always grounded but spacious. And now we're gonna flow. Each inhale, you're gonna straighten your right knee towards triangle, but reach the arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, bend back into that right knee, gaze over your hands. Inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms high. Exhale, bend back down. Inhale it up. And exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. One more time, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, reach it up, pause. Exhale, just lower your arms, finding your nice open chest. Inhale, reach forward through your right arm as you're sending that left hip back. So it's kind of like you're sassing that hip back. And we're trying to maintain length in the lower side as you lower the right hand and reach your left arm, trying to stack shoulder to shoulder all the way up to the hand. Now pause. This is a very grounding posture, so it's easy to get stagnant here. So where can you find your space? Perhaps it's just bringing some weight off of that right hand. Perhaps it's taking the shoulders away from the ears. Or maybe it's just taking a moment to breathe. On your next inhale, using the left hand to help lift you up and back, you're gonna bend back into your warrior two. Flip your right palm to the sky and take a big inhale to open it up into a reverse warrior. So being careful here to not straighten the right knee, be mindful. Send the right knee forward really deep. Try to keep it over the ankle. Plug down through your right heel and expand it back. Soften your shoulders, take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, we're gonna transition. Come up. On the exhale, hands come all the way around the right foot. You're gonna come to the ball of the back foot. So you're in a low lunge here. And then go ahead and drop your back knee towards the ground and uncurl your back toes. So we're in a nice low lunge, sinking the hips forward and down. And then we're gonna begin to take the hands all the way up. Maybe they rest on the thigh. Perhaps they come all the way to the sky. Nice, take an inhale. Sink a little deeper, exhale. We're gonna find those same arms we found earlier. Inhaling to reach up, and as you exhale, just bend the arms back as you really get a nice open chest here. So 2 more like that. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, cactus the arms. 1 more, inhale, reach it high. Exhale, cactus the arms and pause. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. Maybe take the corners of your mouth high. Another inhale. And then as you exhale, just bring your hands to frame the right foot. You're gonna begin to straighten in your right leg. You can walk your hands back, maybe peel the toes towards the sky. I want you to leave your left hand on the ground and take your right hand to that little crease of your right hip and begin to pull it back. Pull it back away from your heel. Keep reaching the heart forward. So just a little reminder, right? We can be here. I was reading in Penna's book, and it says, when we're at the brink of we don't know what, right? We're at the brink right now. We don't know what. Our tendency is to concretize, is to harden ourselves, is to grasp on, again, to whatever we can. But we also have that other side. Go ahead and bring the right hand down if you haven't already. So this practice is continually taking us to a brink. To what could be a breaking point. It's taking us to meet our resistance, and instead of fighting, we find another way, right? Begin to bend back into that right knee. Walk your hands forward. Tuck your left toes and lift your left knee off of the mat.
You're going to take the right foot to meet the left, and your choice to take that chaturanga, or when I say a nadaranga, you can just skip it. So chaturanga, go ahead and lower yourself down, perhaps into cobra or a full upward facing dog if that's part of your practice. We'll meet up in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Hello, Mr. Grayson. Downward dog with puppies. What's better, right? All right, let's go ahead and take your left heel up this time, bending your left knee and allowing that left knee to open up towards the sky. So once again, Mr. Tin Man here, let's check in on that joint, drop the knee, reach it up, find some really big circles. You know, some of us feel like Tin Man, or some days we feel like Tin Man, some days we feel like Gumby. Go in the opposite direction. They're both okay, right? No judgment, just curiosity. Take it nice and open and inhale. And as you exhale, finding warrior two on the other side. Left foot plants, arms open up, and you're facing the opposite side of your mat. Take a moment to pause, right? In these moments when we need to find clarity, we can't find it when we're in the storm. The first step is to pause, to ground ourselves. So feel the physical ground of your feet, drawing that energy into the legs, reaching tall through the crown and wide through the fingertips here. We're going to start that movement with our breath. As you inhale, straighten the left knee, reach the arms up, maybe the gaze up. Exhale, bend it back down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend it down. Inhale high. Exhale low. Inhale high. Exhale low. Last time, stay high. Inhale high. Drop the arms parallel, pause. Sass that right hip back. Reach your left arm forward, really stretching through the lower side body. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up to the sky. And then pause. We've got grounding in our legs. And can you find somewhere to have space here? Maybe the shoulders and the neck. Maybe it's bringing a little weight out of that left hand. Or perhaps just taking a moment to let it go and just breathe. On your next inhale, reaching up through that right hand, let it guide you back upright into that warrior two. You're going to bend in your left knee. Flip your left palm up towards the sky, and you're going to make a big scoop to reverse your warrior here. Right hand sliding down the back leg, left knee sinking deep, left shoulder softening away from the ear, and the breath is really helping to find that spaciousness in the left rib cage. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel the palms down to the mat. You're going to frame that right foot, or left foot, and lower your right knee. Uncurl your right toes here. And then bringing yourself all the way upright, hands to thighs or all the way up to the sky. Really sinking low into the hips, but staying grounded, again, from the left foot and into that right knee. Nice. Take an inhale, exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale high, exhale, cactus. Inhale high, exhale, cactus, and pause. Try to keep lifting the heart, maybe leaning back a bit. Take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the hands to frame your left foot. Starting to straighten in your left knee, sitting the hips back, stacking that right hip over the left. Peel the left toes off the mat. Keep the right hand on the ground. Bring your left thumb into that little crease of your hip and pull the hip back. And as you're doing that, I forgot to mention this on the other side, I want you to feel your right hip coming forward. So we're really trying to square the hips here. And then the heart reaching long. Find that edge. And instead of grasping it, can you breathe and let it be? Right? Letting go is not about giving up. It's just about letting it be without doing anything about it. Take another breath. If you haven't lowered the hand, lower it down. You're going to begin to bend back into that left foot. Tuck your right toes, lift the knee, step back. Your choice to take a vinyasa or just to meet in downward facing dog. Taking a moment to breathe in and breathe out. One more big deep breath in. Exhaling it out. Look to your hands. Bring your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale to forwards. Begin to toe heel your feet apart. They're going to be a little wider than the hips. We're going to make our way all the way up to standing. And the feet should be turned out just a little bit. And we're going to take a flow here from our starfish, which is kind of standing just like this. And then we're going to exhale, come all the way down into a deep squat. Just a few of those to warm up into the hips. Inhale, reach it up and out. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale, up and out. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bring it down. One more time. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bring it down. Pause. Ground down through your feet. Zip in through the belly. Find that lift. Continue to grow your lotus towards the proverbial sunshine above. Feel the elbows pressing into the inner thighs. It's a great place if you've got super tight hips. You can bring a block or some books or something under your hips. We're going to stay for just a moment. We're going to take that right hand down to the earth, right inside of your right foot, and you're going to use your elbow to open that right knee as you open the left arm to the sky. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, hands to heart center. Left hand comes down, inhale the right arm up. Exhale to heart center. One more time each way, right hand down, left arm up, inhale. Exhale to heart center. Left hand down, right arm up, inhale. Exhale to heart center. All right, here we go, inhale. Reach it all the way up. Oh my goodness, see, nothing is permanent. All things will pass. Bring the feet together, shake it out. Give yourself a nice good shake. You know, when we feel really narrow, sometimes you just gotta dance it out or shake it out. So just, move yourself around, shake it all out. Oh, right? Shake off all that crap. Shake it off. In the words of Taylor Swift, shake it off. All right, let's go ahead and come back to the top of our mats. Inhale, expand yourself up, stretch the fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, bow down, forward fold. On an inhale, lift yourself halfway up. Exhale, palms come down to the earth. Step both of your feet back. Your choice, chaturanga or that nadaranga. I'm going to skip it this time, but if you want to take it, the choice is yours. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Soften the knees, exhale. You're going to inhale, shift forward, come into a high plank, high push-up pose here, and as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the mats. Uncurl your toes here. All right. Bring your hands back behind you, fingertips towards the earth. Bring the tops of your feet onto the mats. We're going to inhale, lift your shoulders, lift your feet, lift your hands. You're going to fly like Superman here, squeezing in. Now, when I say squeeze, right, the natural tendency is to go to that hard place. So can you mellow out a bit here and see how the integrity can stay even when we're not trying so hard, right? When we're inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down, bringing your left ear to the mat. Just letting your palms flip. Breathing up into the back of the heart space. Breathing even down into the low back and the mid back. All right, I'm going to take one more of these belly down back bends. Your choice to do the same, or I'm going to try on a little something different. You can bring your arms out into cactus arms. So we're going to inhale, you're going to lift your chest, lift your feet, and then lift your arms. You're either in cactus arms or the hands are straight back. You're in cactus arms. Roll those shoulders back. Zip your navel up off the mat, and then inhale, squeeze it together, and with your exhale, can you soften but stay in that integrity? Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, lower down, hands come back by the side, right ear to the mat, and breathe. Go ahead and bring the palms right underneath your shoulders. We're going to lift up through tabletop and back into our child's pose. Knees wide, forehead to the earth. And just pause here. Walk your pinky fingers wide. Let your arms rest on the ground. Maybe just gently shake your head no, massaging that third eye point. All right, let's talk about that a lot, this idea of a third eye. And the reason we talk about it is it's that neutral point, right? So when we talk about living in this duality, what it is that allows us the clarity to make the choice of which we feed, our anxiety or our ease. It comes through this middle way. You've heard of the fight, flight, or freeze. So the yogi way is to flow. So we don't fight against it. We don't let it concretize us. We don't let it make us hard. We don't run away from it, but we softly approach it and move with it. We move with the anxiety. We're curious about it. We move when we feel like the world's been ripped out from under our feet. We just allow ourselves to go with the flow. Take one more breath in and out here. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands in towards your knees. Shift your hips to either side and go ahead and bring your feet in front of you. Take your legs out in front of you. Move the flesh away from your sit bones here. All 10 toes are going to be up towards the sky. You can soften in your knees here. If you have a blanket or a pillow and extra tight hamstrings, that can feel really nice to put that underneath your knees just to make sure they're not locked out. Use your hand behind you. Inhale, lifting up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, walk the hands with you to help you fold. Hands can come in front, finding a nice long spine along the way. So the reason I support the knees is it's better to have bent knees and keep your spine long. So if you see me from the side, you can see that, right? We can bend our knees and keep the spine long, or I can straighten my legs and then my spine gets nice and bent. So we're trying to keep the spine long. That's our root to crown, right? This is where the channel of our energy flows. We want to keep it open. On your next inhale, go ahead and release your fold, come up. Hands are going to come behind you, bend the knees. Back into that altar pose. Press through the feet, lifting up through the heart, letting the head fall back. One more breath in. As you exhale, lower your hips down towards the mat and go ahead and lower yourself down onto your back. You're going to keep the feet on the ground and your knees up towards the sky. We're going to take a little flowing bridge pose. Rooting through the feet, you're just going to inhale, lift up the hips like you're taking one vertebrae up at a time. And as you exhale, slowly lower down your vertebrae, one at a time. Last thing to happen, you'll tuck your tailbone and take it to the ground. So slow, methodical movement as you inhale, pressing down through the feet, lifting through the legs, lifting through the hips, lifting all the way up through the top of the spine and the heart. Exhaling to slowly see if you can bring one vertebrae down at a time. Breathing through the feet again. Inhale, curling up the tailbone first. Lifting it up, feeling the strength of your legs, really helping to support you here. Curling up all the way back down. And do that one more time. Inhale, lifting up through the hips. And exhaling, lowering your hips all the way down. Go ahead and draw the knees in for just a moment. Maybe drawing some circles with the knees in one way and the other. And then you're going to set your feet back down to the mat and bring your right ankle across your left knee. Flexing that foot. Begin to draw the left knee in towards you. You're going to thread your right hand behind your right knee and perhaps just grab the back of the left thigh. Roll the shoulders down. Try to keep the spine flat onto the mat. And drawing deeper, or to deepen, you draw that left leg, right ankle in. And feel the right knee pressing away from you. And so as humans, it's natural for us to take the path of least resistance. So when we find ourselves in a place where we have no choice to be in resistance, that's when we realize we have a choice to not resist. We can just let it go. Right? Our path of least resistance here is you're probably leaning your weight towards that right hip. I want you just to slowly start to shift your weight over towards your left hip. See if you can deepen. Find that edge where it's natural for you to want to grip. And that's what we work with. Taking one more moment in, softening it out. Go ahead and release your left foot. Unwind that left leg. And wipe your knees from side to side. And then we're going to come back to center and take your left ankle on your right knee. And we'll thread the needle on this side. With the hands behind the right thigh, shoulder blades still sliding down the back, head supported by the earth. Coming into your breath, finding your edge. And this is why from the outside it's hard to tell if you're doing yoga, because the yogic process is that process of arriving, right? Yoking your awareness to be here and not to avoid the discomforts, but to find your calm in the midst of the storm. And we do this on our mat so that when life feeds us a storm, we have the tools. We know that we can find that ease on the other side. Go ahead and release that right foot down and unwrap the left foot. Windshield wipe your knees just from side to side, shifting from one hip to the other. And then go ahead and draw the knees up and in towards your chest. And find your happy baby. Let the soles of your feet come up towards the sky. I'm getting used to this virtual world. I know this is probably not the best view for me right now. I'm going to turn sideways. All right. Next to my little puppy butt right here. All right. Maybe you kung fu your baby. Try to keep it fluid again. Try not to get stuck here. Encouraging some of those ligaments that are used to holding on to get a break. And then go ahead and bring the soles of both of your feet together. Grasp the outsides of your feet and let your knees press away from you. Maybe you kind of keep that movement going by pressing one knee away at a time. It almost feels to me like I'm driving a big bus here. My knees are part of that steering wheel. And then go ahead and draw your knees together. Hug them in close. Bring your arms out to the side and let your knees fall over to the left side. You can give yourself a nice grounding assist here by taking your left hand and just anchoring it down onto that upper knee or thigh. And then try to maybe lift your left shoulder, work it over so you can bring that right shoulder to the ground. Maybe you gaze over your right fingertips. Taking a moment to pause and observe that flow, like the ocean.
in and out of your breath. And just like a wave, we watch the breath come in, we watch the breath move out. And our natural state in no way is ever still or set. It's when we get still that we can recognize, where we are stuck, where we are feeding the frenzy, and find the clarity to release what doesn't serve us and to feed what does. One more breath here. And go ahead and release the left hand. Bring the knees through the center of the chest, and then rock them all the way over to that right side. Let them come to meet the earth so that you're not having to hold anything here. The earth has got your back. Right hand can take onto that left thigh. Reorient so that your shoulders are grounded onto the mat, gazing over perhaps the left fingertips. And just letting yourself be in the flow. Recognizing your fundamental restlessness, and as well as that fundamental spaciousness. Two sides of the same coin, always available. We begin to draw the knees up towards center. One last big hug around your shins, maybe lifting your nose up and really squeezing yourself like you mean it here. I know I've been desperate for hugs lately, so imagine all those people that you wish you could hug right now and give yourself even tighter squeeze, like you're squeezing all of them in. One more breath, squeeze it all in. And now we're going to release, find that spaciousness in your Shavasana. All the way out. Lay your legs long. Take any props that you need to feel comfortable here. So this space is really for you. Our Shavasana is the nectar of this practice. It's what we prepare ourselves for. I was sharing with our virtual retreaters last night. I was just rereading the Yoga Sutras and really thinking about the very first line in the Yoga Sutras, which is the kind of like Bible of yoga, the most ancient text, really outlining what yoga is. The first line in the book, first line, the first sutra, is the practice of yoga is now. The practice of yoga is now. And this is true especially right now, that all that we work for, all of these times we show up on our mats, the time for our yoga is now. This is the opportunity that we have to utilize the tools, the precious tools that we've been blessed to be given, and the tools to give ourselves the space to not have to do or be anything else. Perhaps if you're like me, you're feeling frenzied and anxious. That's okay, it's natural. It's natural. It's part of your human nature to be fundamentally restless. But at the same time, we have the tools to recognize that we are not the restlessness. It is just a part of us. And on the other side, when we can pause, hear, and breathe, we can connect with that fundamental spaciousness.
energy flows. Stretch your fingers above your head, your toes out long, reaching in opposite directions. Waking up that prana, waking up your body, your breath, your soul this morning. Exhale, draw the knees into your chest. Roll over to your favorite side into the fetal position. Taking just a moment to be grounded here. And this symbol of that seed of our original spaciousness, that seed of our third eye, of our wisdom, of what brought us here. And go ahead and begin to find your way back upright into a seated position. Taking your hands to whatever mudra feels grounding for you. Perhaps that's hands on your thighs, or I like the unshakable trust mudra myself, interlacing my fingers and covering my heart. In times like this can be a very comforting mudra as we weave that trust in something bigger than ourselves to pull us through. Close your eyes. Sitting up a little bit taller. I'm going to share one last mantra of Om to close out our space here. So we chant mantra as a way of kind of recalibrating our brain. So we think about most of the day we are chanting mantra, some sort of mantra all day long. And a lot of times these are feeding that tense, anxious energy, making us more narrow-minded. Mantra is a way of vibrating through that, just kind of shaking it off, physically, mentally. Translates to mind protection. So we're going to chant Om 3 times, just the most basic seed mantra of all living things. And so we make this practice not just about ourselves, not just about cultivating our own wisdom, but in the wisdom of the whole. And those who are joining us near and far for this practice, you can imagine them sitting next to you here, how they've inspired you. Take an inhale, sigh it out. Inhale, exhale, Just feeling the effects of that vibration, whether you chant it aloud or internally, feeling that sense of connection. And the palms together, your heart center connecting palm to palm, thumb to hearts. Once again, finding your root and reaching up tall through that 1,000-petal lotus of wisdom, ready to open up towards the sky, your sunshine, whatever lights you up here. Thank each and every one of you for being here. From the light, from the wisdom in me, I recognize this space and invite you to lean in and trust the wisdom within. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cassandra, I don't think I said that in the beginning for those who don't know me. This is Mobile Om. This class, again, is sponsored and brought to you by Western National Parks Association in conjunction with the San Antonio Historic National Parks. We're typically out at the missions. Hopefully for our next time we're popping up, we will be out there. But thank you all for joining in. Can't wait to bring you another class tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We'll be coming hopefully from the river, Confluence Park area. We're not going to tell anyone exactly where we're coming from, but let's hope we can bring out a little bit of sunshine. But thank you again for joining, and I can't wait to connect with all of you again soon.